amazing individual you. Happy New Year and welcome to the 52 Steps to Reconciliation. Now, because this is my first message going out to you, the first for 2022, we got a lot to talk about. So let's jump right into it. So because I had so many new people that signed up to be on this list, I should do a little intro. Mishko Pagnan Quainadishnakas Mandodem. My name is Sandy Boucher. In Ojibwe, I am Red Thunderbolt Woman of the Loon Clan. I'm a proud member of Seine River First Nation in Northern Ontario, which is an Anishinaabe or Ojibwe nation in Treaty 3 territory. Think Ontario-Manitoba border. Now, I've been in business working as an inspirational speaker for going on 13 years now, and the last 10 have really been focused on reconciliation because I don't believe reconciliation is an act of legislation. Legislation comes after the will of the people, and I have this image in my head of exactly what reconciliation is. So let me show that to you. Now, in Anishinaabe culture, in Ojibwe culture, there is nothing more sacred than an eagle feather. You don't buy an eagle feather. You have to earn it. And when you have earned it, you don't get to say, well, I think I earned one. It's when the elders and the teachers in the community believe you have earned one that you receive it. Now, I like to imagine that on contact, when the settlers first arrived here, Canada was awarded a sacred eagle feather. And with any eagle feather, it is our job to care for it and look after it because it is a sacred item. Think of something that you consider sacred, your children, your partner, your relationship. That's not something you can take for granted. You have to look after it. Now, I chose the eagle feather to represent reconciliation because it has two distinct sides. Think of the Canadian reconciliation feather, one side representing non-Indigenous Canadians, the settler descendants, and the other side, the Indigenous peoples and the descendants of the original Indigenous people. Both sides of this feather have been damaged. On the non-Indigenous side, you were handed a lot of stereotypes, misinformation, or just a huge lack of information when it comes to Canadian history. And that has to be rectified before that side of the feather is healed. And on the Indigenous side, a lot of ongoing and historical trauma. Healing is the first challenge for Indigenous people, and some people are on their healing journey, some are well into that journey, and some haven't started yet because the pain is just so intense. We'll talk more about that in these 52 steps. What is super important to realize, which is why I wanted to share this image with you and consider this the first of your 52 steps. The power is in your side of the feather. There are way too many non-Indigenous people who still want to save the Indigenous people. They're dealing with guilt or shame. And by the way, I have no interest in promoting that either. I want you to be comfortable and safe in this discussion. But way too many non-Indigenous people are focusing on helping Indigenous people when what we need you to do is focus on your side of the feather. Create safe spaces, have the conversations, make the changes so that we as Indigenous people are safe in your communities and organizations. And on the Indigenous side, well, the healing, it's super important that we do that work. We need to remember that we have the power to heal ourselves, our families, and our communities, because from that empowerment comes the ability to be a strong, dedicated, vocal part of reconciliation. So if you're a non-Indigenous person watching this video, I hope you realize you're my hope. You're my fuel. The fact that you're here and want to learn this stuff as an Anishinaabe Kwe, as an Ojibwe woman, the fact that you're here is something I hang on to every single day, and it's what keeps me going. And if you're an Indigenous person watching this, kudos to you. I'm thrilled that you're here because this becomes part of your healing journey and we can move forward together. And please remember, you are not alone because I am right here every step of the way for the entire 52 steps. Now, as I mentioned, I've been working in the field of reconciliation and working with communities and corporations for about the last 10 years. And unfortunately, a lot of times I run into people that want the quick answer. They want the 10 steps to reconciliation that they can put into place today and put this behind us. That's not how reconciliation works. In fact, if it's convenient, it's not reconciliation. And you can thank Pam Palmater for that quote. It's a journey, but what I'm going to provide for you over the course of the next year are tips, images, maybe some rules, some things to be aware of, so that at the end of the year, hopefully you're feeling a little less overwhelmed, a little less confused, and a little more ready to move forward on your reconciliation journey. Now, I have a whole bunch of ways I'm going to provide support. You have obviously signed up to receive the weekly 52 Steps to Reconciliation email. There are some of you who are on my sandyboucher.com website and you signed up for the daily blog posts. And I've been doing that for the entire 13 years I've been in business. I encourage, if you haven't signed up for that, I really encourage you to. By the way, it doesn't cost you anything. And here's why. Indigenous people are human. Indigenous people are not this stereotype, just overwhelming with wisdom. And we're not our trauma. But we do have a different worldview. And depending on how many relationships you have with Indigenous people, you may or may not understand what that means. By being open to reading my daily blog post, you're going to expose yourself to the worldview of at least one Indigenous person, me. And you're going to see how our teachings contain valuable wisdom that can benefit all of the cultures, not just Indigenous people. And some days you're just going to see me goofing off and enjoying life because that's human. We do that too. So if you haven't gone to sandyboucher.com and hit get on my list to receive the daily blog posts, you should probably do that. Now, as mentioned, with these 52 steps to reconciliation, that's a weekly video message that's going to come out every Monday. Yes, the video is going to be 3, 4, 5 minutes long. I know you're incredibly busy, so I'm not going to make it too long. But guess what? There's a second support for that. They don't even exist yet, so don't go looking. But on both Reconciliation Works Canada, which is my company geared specifically to non-Indigenous business, and on sandyboucher.com, which is my website dedicated to Indigenous and non-Indigenous individuals, both of those are about to have a membership option. Why I mention that is these videos are not going to be available anywhere else. You're not going to be able to go to YouTube and just look them up. But both of the membership programs, whether you're here working from a business perspective or as an individual, both memberships will have the entire 52 steps, the videos as I prepare them. They will go into the member vault and you'll be able to access them if you choose to sign up for the membership. So keep that in mind. I will let you know when the membership launches. Now, something I started last year that people really seem to enjoy is a free event. It's the first Sunday of every month. I'm not doing one in January. Obviously, that already passed, but it's called My Fire. And this is a chance to come out and ask your questions in a safe space. Don't worry about using the right terms. Don't worry about being embarrassed that you don't understand something. That's why I have the fire. Think of it as sitting at a sacred fire where you're welcome and safe and you get those questions answered. So watch for the notice that the fire's coming again. Like I said, it's the first Sunday of every month. February is the first one. If you're interested in attending my fire in February, send me an email and I'll send you the Zoom link. It is an online Zoom event. Now, if you signed up to Reconciliation Works Canada, again, my company that's geared to non-Indigenous business, you also get a monthly newsletter. Now, that's jam-packed with resources and links and articles to help you truly understand how you can make your business part of reconciliation. So head over to Reconciliation Works Canada to get on that email list. Or if you go to sandyboucher.com and click on RWC, Reconciliation Works Canada, you can sign up to be on that list there. And last but not least, The Path, the seminar that is based on my book, The Path, has been offered across Canada to many, many groups, but it's always a closed session, which means it's not open to the public. The staff of a certain business or the people in a certain community wanted the seminar. Well, for the very first time, I'm offering it as a Zoom seminar every quarter. You can sign up. It's going to be offered on a Sunday. And the best part, if you can't stick around to do the whole seminar, because it is a full day event, if you purchase your ticket and decide to sign up for one of the seminars, you get a recording of the seminar. So you are going to be able to take part in the entire seminar. And I'm doing it live on that day. So if you do attend the event, you can ask questions and we can be totally interactive. There's exercises. It's very interactive. It is never boring. So sandyboucher.com, if you go under shop webinars, you'll see all the different dates that's being offered. By the way, if you're Indigenous or any culture watching this and you struggle with self-esteem or self-confidence, which is a large part of being a marginalized person, a day that can change everything is my seminar that addresses that, and it's being offered 4 times this year as a webinar as well. You'll find that in the same place under shop webinars. So there you have it, my friends. Remember this image, the sacred feather that Canada holds. You have to work on your side of the feather. If you're non-Indigenous, it's time to get educated and start asking your questions and understanding what's going on. And if you're Indigenous, well, feel free to ask your questions as well. But remember, healing is your first step. I cannot wait to go on this journey with you. We've done 1 step now. We have 51 more to go. I love you. Take care. If you have any questions, email me. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.